My name is Julian Falagan, and I'm Mexican, and so today I'll be talking about my experiences as being Mexican American, and then also a little bit about being Latino. My mother, both her parents are Mexican immigrants, and then my father, his dad is Spanish, and then his mother is part of a Mexican American family that's been in Orange County for around 5 generations right now. Oh, first off, I gotta go with food because it's Mexican food is one of the five. You know, you've got pizza, takeout, Mexican, and Chinese, and those four. But it's those, and those are like the main foods that people choose, and it's also really delicious. And there's on a serious note, there's a whole aspect to cooking and that I'm able to experience my culture through. And it's great to be able to make things and, be taught by my mother the things that she made when she was little and all of that. And then the other part that I'm very proud to be a part of is just the legacy of hard work and the legacy of making your place somewhere. The uncle I was talking about, he was the one who was able to bring his entire family over, and that includes my mother's father. And he worked as a farm worker before he was able to get residency and before he was able to, get his family over. And through that legacy, that set up my mother for her to work hard and for her to work past what she had to work past and to eventually get me here. And it's the spirit of hard work, and it's the spirit of family too, of being together, supporting each other, and lending a hand up. No matter whether they're your first cousins or your third cousins, or you don't even know how you're related to them, but you help each other out, and I'm beyond proud to be a part of that legacy. Yes, I have, and again, it ranges from the little things to the big things. So in the little things, sometimes it's as simple as kids telling me, "Your name's too hard. How about we just call you Juan?" Or you know, "You look a lot like my friend blank. His name is Diego. How about I just call you Diego?" And it's those kind of things. Um, you know, I got them when I was really little, and at first I thought it was kind of cool. I was like, I can reinvent myself as a smooth talking man named Juan, but later on I realized that it's really not okay. And then it's not necessarily oppression or discrimination, but it's something that I've had to learn to deal with. Is that in school especially, there are very few Latinos that are with me in my classes. And so I learned that my actions have consequences because this is what people base my entire ethnicity, my entire culture off of, just me, because I'm the only person that they know. And that was rough for me to come to terms with. And it also took a while for me to come to terms with the fact that because I have this position, I have to stick up for others. And just recently, I've started cutting people off and telling people that it's not okay, because I'll get things like, "Wow, you're Mexican, but you're not Mexican, or you're not like those Mexicans." And again, when I was younger, I kind of embraced it. I was like, "Yeah, I'm different," but now I realize that in my position, it's my job to push forward against that discrimination, not just for me, but for the other people that are in my situation or in a different situation. And then the really big one is something that I lightly refer to as the cop talk, which was something that my mother gave me a couple years ago. And I'm not black. I don't suffer the brunt of it, right? But there's still things that my mother made me be aware of, And, she gave me her own example of driving down PCH in her Volvo and getting pulled over and getting questioned for half an hour by the cop. Like, do you have your driver's license? All right, do you have your registration? And over and over and over again. She just stayed calm through it. And then at the end, she asked the officer, so officer, can I ask you why you pulled me over? And he didn't give her a response, right? And so, maybe he thought that she wasn't supposed to be driving that car. Maybe he thought that that she had stolen it or something. But the bottom line, and the thing that she had me take from that story, is that you can't ignore the fact that people will discriminate against you, and you can't ignore the fact that there are societal things that may hinder you from getting there. But the only thing that you can do is to keep your head up, to stay honest, true, and trustworthy to the point where there isn't a problem. And you do everything you can to prevent things like that happening. And then when they do happen to you, you become your best self. And you put your best foot forward, and you say, no matter how these people take me, no matter how they perceive me, I'm putting myself forward, and that's all I can do. One of the big things is just the recent rhetoric that's been thrown around on immigration, all of these things, and I don't know. It's difficult, and I think it's a difficult issue all the way around. But I don't know. What I think's made it difficult personally for me to hear is just to have my own stories and my own family stories that are kind of counter to what's been thrown around. That are, they're rough stories. It's people that have worked their hardest to make a better life for their family, to do all of those things. And hearing those things, it hurts, because, even if it's not directed specifically at me and my family and my experiences, it's directed at people that could eventually become me and take this place that I have right now. And it's rough to hear, and I don't know, it feels like people are getting sold short. Their stories aren't being told completely, and it also makes me, in my own position, it leads me to the conclusion that, again, my position is not something to be taken lightly. It's something to acknowledge the differences between me and other people from my culture in the United States right now. And it's to accept that privilege and to use that privilege to help people up, to not stay complicit by just standing there, but to go out and actually do something and create change. Being a part of Mexican culture, and then to a greater extent being a part of Latino culture in the United States, it means, I don't know, it means a lot to me. It means that there's, for me personally, it means that I know that wherever there's family, there's home. And I just recently took a vacation, and I was with family, and we stayed in their house. And again, these people were not related to me, I'm pretty sure. But if they were, it was very, very distant. But they treated me well, and we had so much fun because we were able to embrace each other. And then here in the United States, to be a part of this culture means that, again, it's being part of the legacy of hard work, and being part of the legacy of struggle, of having struggles and having to summon power and force to get through them. and there's no way that you can get around it. So, you know, I accept the fact that I'm a part of my culture, and I accept the fact and the ways that it's changed me, and I'm so happy that I'm able to experience these things through my culture. Yeah, I hope that it progresses, that of course it progresses forward, and that there's greater understanding from the people that are not a part of this culture, not a part of that are not Latino, or the people that have power in this country, that they not only understand the struggle, but they reach out themselves to help remove some barriers and to help give people a chance, because a lot of times that's all people need. People need a chance, and you know, again, through my family history, it's just a history of people that were given a chance, and through their chances and through their seizing of that chance, I'm here, and personally, that's my job as well. My job is to give other people a chance, and to work as hard as I can to bring people up, and to have people progress further. I'm going to start this off, and I just want to give a quick example from the food world, because there's a Mexican meat called al pastor, and it's done the same as Mediterranean shawarma is done, and there's actually links between the two, that al pastor was inspired by the great rotating cylinders of meat being heated, and I think that for tolerance to increase, it just requires open minds on every side, and it requires an open mind to find similarities and to be able to, you know, say, you do this, I do this, it's sort of similar, right? And at the same time, to not ignore differences, because ignoring differences doesn't get people anywhere. It takes conversations, and it takes people acknowledging the differences that there are in between cultures, and saying, you know, I understand that this is what you do, this is what I do, and that's okay. And to be able, I would really like that for people to be able to see those differences, acknowledge them, and then move forward without putting down other cultures, without acting superior or even acting inferior, right? But to just be all together on a level playing field, not necessarily as one homogenous group, but as everybody who is their own selves, and everybody accepting each other for their own selves.